All those tuning in from Boston. It's a very welcome to have you to this very special bonus edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Okay, so as promised, this is the first of 6 special shows, which is going to go a bit in more depth, in more detail, regarding the Inaugural Six's brand, which of course was revealed to us on the 9th of September. We, the Purple Trio, we just cannot stop getting giddy over this. We're still on cloud 9. It's been well over a week now since we've had the brand. We've did the first episode as a whole. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. It was quite a lengthy show, but it's well worth it. Yeah, and like we said on that, there's so much more we could have said, so that's what we're going to do here. So for these next 6 weeks, we're going to focus on one team, and we're doing it in alphabetical order, so that means Boston, you guys are up first. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll recap what was on the webpage, then we'll go further in details. So, introducing the Boston fleet. So wherever we go as one. So their tagline was, "A new voyage begins." Since our earliest days, Boston's fate has rested on the... Let's see. The Boston fleet... Sorry, it's because it's all in green. I'm having trouble reading. The Boston fleet pays homage to the unified spirit of our people, players, and fans who move together with speed, strength, and relentless might to add new legacy to Boston's storied history of resilience. Now, if we look more in depth at the logo, so you had sailing towards victory. The forward-leaning shape of the logo invokes a sail catching wind, representing momentum and a relentless drive for success. Anchored in heritage, so the bold B. Combined with a side wave anchor symbolises Boston's rich maritime history and its enduring strength, unity, and collective might of Boston's players and fans. And then finally, we've got waves of resilience. A wave pattern within the emblem adds depth and texture, reflecting the dynamic energy of the ocean and team's steadfast resilience. So yeah, so this is actually quite a fair brand. I mean, I know you could. I know kind of felt without the wave content, you wouldn't be able to tell this was a unique logo for the fleet. He kind of felt that if you did have that waveform in the letter, then it could easily be passed as a Boston Bruins logo. Of course, we have mentioned, of course, the Boston Bruins did used to have, before their centennial season last year, they did have a third jersey with just the letter B. It was a gold B. It was a great big gold B. That slapped by the chest. It was on a black background. I'm not sure if Boston's bringing that back this year. I know, sadly, the Bruins are going back to their old kit, which is a shame, because I love the Centennial look, and for Bruins, it was about time to change. I mean, the original 6 clubs don't tend to do that many jersey changes. So I'm not sure if the Bruins are bringing that one back this year, or they're going to not the third jersey. I'm not sure, but that Bruins fans might know better than me. That's what Plurk up with. The waveform actually works really well. It's very obvious to see there. I'm just wondering, could they maybe have done it more, the pattern work better? Because when you actually look in detail on the logo, it's just a straight horizontal the whole way through. I'm wondering if the fleet have missed a trick here, where you could have maybe done it with the waves. So you, depending on the logo, they could either curve or, yeah, it's kind of like a, a bit of a, the logo's like a, And that's what I tried to do good impression there. I love the way pattern to maybe come forward with that, rather than just being one straight horizontal down the whole thing. You know, like almost like a wallpaper border. I love the way so many then transformed and formed into the pattern there. So there's way with a curve bit. You should then curve the way, right? Just being a straightforward line. I mean, that to me kind of lets this wave pattern down a bit. And yeah, there's a lot of neon in this. As we all know, PWHL Boston's colours last year was green. It was very well visible to see. So I'm wondering if when we get to the jersey reveal, is it going to be more of a black jersey, the home ones? Is it going to be more of a black jersey and the green will be more dominant on the road ones? I would not be surprised if the fleet tried to do something we've seen for the Dallas Stars over the last few years, which is where you have the black jersey with the green as like a neon green. I'd not be surprised if the fleet does. It looks more. There's more neon. There's more navy. There's more black on the face of the webpage design than there is green. So I'm wondering if Boston's going to shed the green a little bit and not have it as dominant as bold as it was last season. That's just a pure speculation. Of course, we've still got quite a while to go before we get to the jersey reveals in late October. Yeah, because and maybe that could be Boston's second colour, because every team is supposed to now have a second colour as well, but most of them we couldn't really tell. We did the reveal, the brand reveal last week. We couldn't really tell what most of the team's second colours were. We only got ours and Toronto's. With Boston, I'm not surprised if they use black more. I'm not a fan of that, but it does where we'll go. That's that'd be yeah. So I think we might see Boston using more maritime colours this year. So I wouldn't be surprised to get like a bit of sea blue in there as well. I had no idea that Boston had such a rich maritime heritage. I mean, Seattle obviously yes, bags to the Kraken in the air. Obviously that was not the giveaway, but I wouldn't have expected Boston to have had such a rich man history. I would have thought Boston would be more, you know, techy, because of course it's got that famous tech uni in MIT. But yeah, so I think this is going to be interesting. So this season was a good opportunity to learn about Boston's heritage here. It would make it very interesting if a Seattle team was to then come into the league in a few years' time, and then what do they do? Because we've already got one maritime team in the league. We're going to have two, maybe? I don't know. But the fleet, it's an interesting thing, because it does sound a bit basic, it does about door, but actually I think it's more to do with the fact that fleet, you could argue a row of ships, that could be a fleet. I mean, I know people might say that's more than an armada, but so I'm surprised we've not got some boats here in this. They stick to more the anchoring, you know, the anchor, which of course the star logo, which is a really good detail. Even though Lady did point out it kind of looks like the Hartford Whalers logo if you tilt it on the side. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you had a go at doing that. So if you know on your phones, we did it last week on the episode where I tilted it and then showed the demonstration. That was quite a funny moment in the show because Lady tilted his head. It was quite hilarious. Yeah, but I do love that anchor. I think the anchor feature is really great. It really sticks out. It's not too great, big, obvious as well. It's a real sort of design detail where I think if you didn't notice it, you wouldn't be able to tell it's there. So you've got to have a really keen eye to detail when you try to spot that feature. But I think it's really works well. So yeah, so in the way style is good. I think they could have maybe just had a bit more fun with that. The anchor's really good as well. Yeah. So with each team, I've found on the PWHL.com that there are some more news articles regarding the brand reveals for each team. So I'm going to read those out to you as well and take some thoughts as well. Okay, so we've got two for each team. So I'm going to do this first one. So PWHL unveils Boston Fleet in league-wide team identity launch. So the most anticipated identities for the 60s, Boston, Minnesota, Montreal, New York, Ottawa, and Toronto, include team names, logos, colours, and word marks. Oh, I'll talk about the word mark in a minute with Boston. get it on my screen as well. I didn't think about that. After playing the inaugural season with a name that solely represented their location, each team now has a distinct identity that players can embrace and fans can rally behind. All teams are retaining their primary colours from Season 1 to maintain a sense of continuity, and additional colours have been added to each team's palette. Dino's fleet pays homage to Boston's collective spirit and rich maritime history, representing the city's unified strength and resilience. The logo combines the iconic letter B, which of course it's standard iconic in all Boston sports, really. I mean, obviously I'm familiar with it mostly with the Bruins in the NHL, but that is quite a significant logo in Boston sports history. Of course, Boston Red Sox are another example as well. They've got their logo is just a B, but it's quite iconic in Boston sports. You just need to know which sports you're involved with, and then you can just look up from there. Yeah, so that really connects to the history to Boston's history as a city as a whole. So that's what we've got there. An anchor symbolising Boston's identity and nautical heritage. The forward-leaning shape communicates momentum, reflecting the city's sporting legacy, what legacy it is, and the team's advancement on the ice. The colour palette centred around the team's primary deep green includes supporting accents of nautical greens and oceanic blues that reflect the sea's dynamic hues. So it's not black, right? Sorry, it's because the way it looks on my screen with my eyesight. Right, okay. So let's have a look. So let's have a look at that a little more individually, shall we? Let's have a little more of Boston's secondary colour. So nautical green. Is this just a fancy way of saying a different shade of green? Let's have a look. Right, so the nautical green looks a bit more murky. It looks a bit more, but it's a lot darker. It's a lot more darker shade of green than what we saw from PWHL Boston this past season. Okay, that actually might work. So yeah, so actually no, the theories of maybe shade of the green. No, that's still there. So yeah, so is it wise to have two different shades of green on the exact same jersey? What's the other? Well, oceanic blue. Let's look what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, I think I prefer the oceanic blue more to the nautical green. I think the oceanic blue looks more calming, looks more tranquil. So I maybe would like the fleet to maybe do like a green and oceanic blue jersey. Don't do two shades of green on the same jersey. They just so just blend together. You will not be able to tell them apart. So just do that. So that just yeah. Oceanic blue is fine. Maybe not go with the nautical green. Don't do that. Maybe have that for the road jersey. Maybe the road jersey can be the nautical green, because the road jersey is going to be white. But you can have maybe nautical green like on the shoulder or the sleeve, maybe. Not on the main one. Have the primary green on the main one. Just don't do on the nautical green on the maybe just. Yeah. Okay, so I've got the word on screen now, so I can match that in a moment. That's that one done. So the okay. So the other article, which is more centered to PWHL Boston. So there's two articles for each team. The generic one, which briefly mentions each team, and then there's one in particular for each team as a whole. So yeah. So I'm now on to the one that's specified just for Boston, and that is titled. What's it on my screen? Yes, Anchors Away. Okay, so this is one just focused on Boston. No single saviour would rescue PWHL Boston in Game 3 of the PWHL semi-finals. They were down by 2 goals and being shut out heading into the third period. They were about to let a chance for a playoff sweep slip away at home. Instead, there was a steadfast team effort by the entire squad who lightened their ranks and took control on the ice. They played stark defensive and battled on the boards for every loose puck. First one, then another, and finally a third. Different Boston players scored unanswered goals. The last in sudden death overtime to propel Boston into the inaugural PHL finals. On the ice, 5 worked as one in the Songer Centre. Thousands cheered as one, seemingly louder with each successive shift across New England in TV rooms and sports bars. Hardcore hockey fans joined as one to support their grinny new team as that moment in May proved in Boston you have each other's backs. You lift each other up. You're never alone. And you're all in it together always. That became clear again early today when the PHL launched the team's new name and identity, introducing the Boston Fleet. So there's a clear reflection of the team's character when you think back to the definition of a fleet. Every part moving in the same direction and working together and aligned on the goal. That's something this team figured out, says Jana Hepper, the PHL Senior Vice President of Hockey Operations and Hockey Hall of Fame inductee. That can't happen if you aren't unified. What's true of the team is true of the city it represents. A fleet stands for strength in numbers. Amy Shaw, the PHL Senior Vice President of Business Operations. That's what Boston sports fans represent. They turn out, show up, and supported their teams. Those spirited loyal fans helped Boston earn its sports town legacy and never wavered through an epic sports curse. I'm not sure about that. You might look up yourselves. It's as if togetherness and teamwork are in the water here. Harking back to the maritime and dates back to the city's maritime roots. The name honours from the impenetrable wooden hull of old Ironsides to the Charlestown Navy Yard's storied history of building in the commercial fishing crews sailing from towns along Cape Ann and the Jostoman working the waters off Strachey. Now the team that channeled Boston's character on the ice has a bold new name that embodies it. The heart of our efforts was to capture the mighty force of Boston, the collective strength and resilience of the city, says Kanan Blackshaw, the VP of Brand and Marketing, who oversaw the league's naming process. Boston has a formidable legacy of coming together as one that we had to tap into. The name had to reflect the resolve as an emotionally resonant way. Started playing the inaugural season without traditional team name. It's basically what we had to do in the original. So yeah, but go with that again. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's just a piece what we've already covered. Yeah, so it really harks into about Boston, coming together, being how they're all in this together. I know I'm bringing out some corny song lyrics here. Don't worry, I won't sing them for you. Not gonna do that. Yeah, but yeah, Fleet. You know, it kind of makes, in all about connecting Boston's community and connecting the fans together. It kind of does make sense. You've got a Fleet, you know, that works as one. It works as one engine. I think that works really well. It ties in together really well. I think it's a very actually. I mean, I know some people might think it sounds basic, but when you go into the history, you delve into the logic behind it, then you understand it a bit more. Yeah, so it's tying into with how Boston is kind of is comes together as one. And as I said, it's got that really rich sporting history. You know, I mean, I've seen it over the years being both the NHL and MLB, obviously with the Bruins and the Red Sox, seeing what their fans when they come together. And of course, the Bruins have had a lot of good success over the years. A continual, always a perennial playoff contender. They were dominant in the 2010s. They made it to 3 Stanley Cup finals in the 2010s. 2011 when they won, then again in 2013, and then of course most recently in 2019. So Boston is a very formidable contender when it comes to that part of the season. So we'll have to see if the Fleet can move out as well. They made it to the finals inaugural year. Will they get consecutive trips like that the Bruins have? We will have to wait and see. I mean, the Fleet did give us a really good run for our money in that final. I mean, it really could have gone any other way. I think what was amazing about the actual final itself is that showed that standings mean nothing when you get to playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, that's when everything changes, and teams that you didn't have to give a chance in the regular season, they step up in the playoffs. And you saw that with both our Frost and with the Fleet, and we got a really, really amazing World Cup final. Yeah, so I would not be surprised if the Fleet win a World Cup in the near distant future, because they've got the tools. They came very close. They've definitely got the net mining of a World Cup champion, but we just did that a little bit better. But yeah. So I'll bring on the word mark now, because I didn't get to mention that before we delved into history. Now word marks, I don't really know what to make of word marks, really. They're not as commonly seen on apparel as the logos are. But if we look at Boston's word mark as a whole, it's quite niche. The green stands out a bit more, but it probably has done on the logo. Yeah, the Fleet is kind of it's sort of slanted about this sign, harking back obviously to the fact the logo itself is kind of slanted as well. So 2 slanted logos in this league. You could easily see that on a lot of marketing. I could easily see them using that word for a lot of marketing. That could work really well there. It works really well. I mean, it can't. No, I mean the way the lettering is very close together, that works really well, and the E's have been double jointed together. That kind of works brilliantly there. That's brilliant. It's really nice. It's chic. It's not too bold, not too lavish. It's quite nice. Yeah. So I think that's a really good work mark. I mean they utilize the colours really well here, a bit more than on the logo, which is interesting. I think the logo focuses more on the signature details, whereas the word mark focuses more on the colour scheme, which of course is going to be that green, which of course was very well dominantly seen on their jerseys last season, and I expect it to be so again this season. But hopefully to get the shades right, because if you do 2 shades of green on one jersey, it's going to go wrong, and you're just not going to be able to tell the difference. So I think you've got your palette, Boston. Think very carefully about how you're going to utilise that when it comes to the jerseys. I think the nautical green would work better on a road jersey, because the road jersey will be dominantly white, whereas the home jerseys, that should be where you have the main green that was used last season, and then I don't know why you did the oceanite blue. You'll figure that out. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite nice. So as a whole, I think the Boston Fleet's brand is quite decent. It's not as strong as some of the others. So I'm actually going to give it a mark out of 10. I'm going to give each team's brand. Yes, including ours. Although I think you could work out what ours will be. I'll be fair with ours, even though there will be some bias in there. Yeah, it's quite nice. I mean, of course, I'm not a fan of the colour green, because I can't see green very well. But it's not my team, so not real biggie there. But if you are Boston fans, you shall have a problem. Best of luck to you guys. I love the waves. I think it's really better. I think the waves on the logo was not all horizontal, so they kind of just swerved and fit with where they were in the logo. So, for example, if there's a wave near a curb, was coming to a curve, you should maybe curve the wave there, just let the waves flow evenly throughout the V, rather than just being just like that. If you get the rest. I love the slant there. The anchor works brilliantly well, and it does. The only problem is though, Connecticut and Boston are two different places. So the problem I've got with the anchor is, are people going to think that's too more similar to Hartford rather than it being similar to the Boston Fleet? That's the only problem I've got there. So don't be surprised if we see more Hartford Whalers bands in Boston at Soccer Centre, because they've looked and thought, hang on, that looks suspiciously like our Whalers logo. Yeah. Connecticut, you had your chance to get support in the PWHL, and Yorkie blew it. Anyway, yeah. So I think the colour scheme, I'm not sure that's going to work well. Now I've got the full colour palette. Let's see. So, for the Fleece brand, like I say, it's kind of nice, but it's not really for me. It's not as out there. It's not really grimy as much as the others. So I think for the Boston Fleet, I'm going to go for a 6.5 out of 10. I'm going to be fair, but firm with each of these brands, okay? So I think for the Fleet, I'm going to go for 6.5 out of 10 there. Yeah, but I think it's great. It's nice, and it will do. Maybe there could be a little bit more, just tiny little tweaks, and you can maybe up that score to maybe a 7 or a 7.5. But yeah, but not too bad. Yeah. So there you go. So anchors up, and that is the Boston Fleet.